Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our Careers in Construction and Engineering with National Grid. This is Gavaskar Reed. I am your host today. I am from the Career and Technical Education Department within the New York City Department of Education. I'd like to give a big shout out to the rest of the CTE team, as well as the College and Career Planning team for allowing us to put this session together. Now, this meeting kicks off our Career Exploration Month. What that means is throughout the month of February, you will be learning about various career pathway opportunities that are available to you right here in New York City. Today, we'll be hearing from our partners at the National Grid Metro Tech Sustainability Hub. And I would love to highlight today a young man by the name of Abdul Adeniji. He's a young brother that I really, really look up to. Now, I don't know if he admires me as much because I've been blowing up his email and phone over the past couple of weeks in anticipation for today's event. So hopefully he will accept my apologies, but I'm just very, very proud to have him and the rest of the team involved today. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Abdul. And also, please note that this is a Zoom webinar. It's not a regular Zoom meeting. So the only folks you'll be seeing and hearing today are going to be me and our panelists. But that being said, we want you to still interact with us. So please utilize the chat box feature. We have a number of folks on this call who will be monitoring the various questions and comments that you have to say. So please stay engaged with us. We'll be here to answer any questions and comments as they come up. And also, I want to know, how exactly are you guys feeling? I know that you've been at home for a while now. How do you feel about remote learning? Do you miss school? Do you miss being around your teachers and your other classmates? Or do you love being home? Do you just want to stay in your bed all the time? What are your feelings towards the remote learning? Or do you want some sort of mixture of some days I go to school, some days I stay home? I want to know what your thoughts are. But really now, for real this time, without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to my main man, Abdul Adeniji. Take it away, Abdul.
Hello, everyone. My name is Abdul. I go to Stony Brook University. I major in chemical engineering with a specialization in energy science and technology. I've been an intern at National Grid for 2 years now. During my time at National Grid, I've been able to learn the business of the energy sector, the future plans which it has in terms of clean energy. And I'm really excited to share my knowledge with you guys today. And I'm gonna pass it over to my teammates.
All right, I can go next. Hello, everybody. Excited to be on this call today. My name is Jordan Brammer. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I actually went to Millwood High School. I currently go to New York University. I'm studying economics with a minor in media, culture, and communications. Very excited to talk to you all today. And I've been interning at the Sustainability Hub since last July. And it's been a great experience so far, and looking forward to having this conversation.
Hi, everyone. My name is Austin. I'm also from Brooklyn, New York. For high school, I went to James Madison High School, but now I'm a senior at Stony Brook University. I major in business management with a specialization in marketing and a minor in journalism. And I'm an intern at National Grid, and I'm glad to be part of the team as well.
Go on, Sue. Sue?
Sue, you're muted.
Sorry, I couldn't get off the mute. Hello, everybody. Let's start this again. My name is Susan Montano, and I am been in the company since 1992. I am a stakeholder engagement specialist, and I work with the team at the Pipeline Safety Management, and I'm also part of this team, and I'm very proud of all the interns.
So I forgot to mention this during my introduction. So I went to Hillcrest High School, and through my counselor, Ms. Gordon, I was able to get introduced to Gav, and that's how we were able to make this presentation possible. So, you know, Ms. Gordon was really, during my process of going to college, she was really helpful to me. She always asks, every time I ask questions about my career or school or whatever, I needed to know she was always there for me. So if you have a career and college office in your school, just make sure you always go there to talk to them, ask questions, because it could really help you down the road. So I'm gonna go to the next slide. So I'm gonna be discussing what the National Grid Sustainability Hub is. So the hub was made to serve as a bridge between National Grid and the community to help discuss different ways to help save energy, educate the public about different energy research that National Grid is doing, discuss gas safety, different National Grid environmental policies, and to basically give these kind of presentations to school so they kind of have an idea of what the energy sector is, if they have interest in it, if they plan on going to it, and just you can also learn that as you're gonna find out throughout at the end of our presentation that National Grid is not only just for engineers or construction workers. There's different career path you could take at National Grid. So I'm going to the next slide. So during our presentation, we're going to be talking about energy efficiency, renewable and energy sustainability, climate control, gas safety, 811 safety, and we're going to have Ali come in to talk about different career opportunities at National Grid. So as we know, we're not, because of the virus, we can't really go into the hub right now. So we just made the slide to help showcase the different appliances that we usually have at the hub. These appliances talk about help showcase gas safety and energy efficiency. So we have the microwave, the cooking stove. The cooking stove is there to show the students different things to look out in terms of gas safety. For example, if the gas stove is yellow, that means there's something off. If it's blue, that means there's something good. We discuss methane detectors so they know, because methane could be really dangerous to us if we breathe it in. So we discuss having a methane detector at your house, a smart thermostat in terms of saving energy. During the hot weather, you could set a timer. You could if you're worried about leaving your air conditioner home, and which takes energy, you could set a timer. You could on your way home to turn it on. We talk about high efficiency heating tanks, and I'm gonna pass it over to Jordan.
For sure. Thank you, Abdul. So I think it's a really good point to start with vampire energy in our presentation. Last summer, before I actually came to the hub, one topic that a lot of parents and groups requested was vampire energy and energy at home because they felt like it wasn't really addressed as much at the hub. So this summer, we made it an effort to introduce into our presentation and implement into our curriculum moving forward. So vampire energy essentially is energy that is used by applications that you don't know are on or are running without your knowledge. So just starting off, be sure to keep your computers on sleep mode if not in use. Turn it off instead, and that could be up to $20 in saving from one device alone. Living room entertainment systems and other appliances should be connected to a power strip to turn off the entire system when done. For instance, like if you have a PS5 and you turn it off, even though it is on rest mode, it is still running current. And if your controller is charged, you might as well just hit the power button on your power strip to turn it off and save a ton of money a month. That definitely adds up at the end of the year. Another example of vampire energy that's very common that people probably don't know about is the refrigerator on. If you leave it open for a long time, a lot of newer refrigerators now have technology in place to where it leave beeping noises, but not all of them have that. So just be wary that if you leave your refrigerator open for a long time, you're going to actually run a lot of current and run up money on your energy bill at the end of the month. And lastly, we made this around the summertime, which is why we have AC in, but it still applies. If the air conditioning is on, make sure windows and doors are closed. Because if you have the AC longer than you need to, your energy bill is just going to be ran up the entire time, and you're going to be sitting there wondering why your room is still 75 degrees after 8 hours of your AC being on, and we don't want to be in a room that's 75 degrees for 8 hours. So yeah, Abdul, next slide. Okay, so this is just a fun little quiz that we posted on our social media over the summer, but I'm curious to know how much people know about vampire energy. So which of these items leach energy even when they are turned off? Would it be desktop computers, a ceiling fan, Bluetooth speakers, or all of the above? Can we get some responses in the chat, please? I'm curious to see what people think. Okay, we have all the above. We have A, we have a D, okay, D, okay. Okay, we have a B. All right, I'll give it like 5 more seconds. This is actually like a mix. I wasn't expecting. Okay. Wow. Okay. All right. I think we have enough responses. Actually, it started off with a lot of A's, which is the right answer, and then it became a really large influx of D's. So I'm really glad that we put this question in there to challenge our students' thinking. But yeah, it is desktop computers. Bluetooth speakers, once they're off, and when ceiling fans are off, they're off. But desktop computers, a lot of the time, just run energy a lot of the time without you knowing. So it's really important for you to unplug them from the power strip after you're done using them. So yeah, next slide, Abdul. And before we introduce our next topic of renewable energy versus non-renewable energy, this is another quiz that we post on our social media over summer to gain interaction from our Brooklyn audience on our Sustainability Hub Instagram accounts. But just to know from your standpoint in terms of renewable energy, what causes wind? What do you guys think? Would it be rotation of the Earth, the sun heating the atmosphere, variations in the Earth's surface, or all of the above? Let's see if this question is a little bit more mixing and responses. Okay. All right. Do I think we did a good job with these questions?
Nope.
Yeah, we did a good job with these questions. All right, I'll give it like 5 more seconds. Okay. Okay, all right, that's good. My responses. It actually is D, all of the above. Really glad we did these questions in there. Next slide, Abdul. I'll take it away.
So I'm going to be talking about non-renewable versus renewable energy. So non-renewable energy, sources of energy that could run out, and they come from fossil. So in terms of fossil means something that takes a long time to generate. So in conclusion, non-renewable energy could run out really soon. And some examples of non-renewable energy that we have right now is oil, natural gas, and coal. And renewable energy comes from natural sources that could be replenished. For example, sunlight and wind energy. One example of non-renewable energy that National Grid provides is natural gas. And I'm gonna have Sue talk more about natural gas. Sue?
Okay. Hello, everybody. So it's an important source of energy for many households and businesses. So does anybody know about natural gas and where it comes from? Okay, so could somebody let me know? Okay.
So check the chat. There's a lot of response.
Yes, I see that. Yep. Okay. So, all right, that's good. I'll just give you a little bit of a brief description of natural gas. So about 300 to about 400 million years ago, ancient sea plants and animals died millions of years ago and sank to the bottom of the Earth's ocean. So about 50 to 100 million years ago, enormous heat and pressure turned into layers of plants and animals. And that remains what we have now today is called natural gas and oil. So what happens is, again, natural gas is colorless and odorless. We put an odorant in called mercaptan. It smells like sulfur or rotten eggs, so you could detect a gas leak. So not only can you smell a gas leak, but you could see it, you could hear it. So basically what happens is, if you see a white mist or bubbling water that's not normal, that could be an indication of a gas leak. If you hear a roaring or a hissing sound, that could also be an indication of gas leak. So the key is, if you smell gas, act fast, get out. Don't touch anything because it could be a spark of ignition. So you don't answer your phones, don't open up the windows, don't ring a doorbell, anything like that. Next slide.
So can anybody name 3 appliances that use natural gas? Feel free to use the chat bot and just name what appliances come to the top of your head that use natural gas. So I see a lot of people saying cars, ovens, stoves. A boiler, dryers. Yeah, so these are all great answers. So some answers that work for this question are clothes dryers, water heaters, furnaces, outdoor grills, pool heaters, like a lot of you said, stoves and ovens, also barbecue grills, fire pits, and patio heaters. But all of you gave really great answers in the comment section. So yeah, these are definitely appliances that use natural gas. So reiterating off of what Sue said, natural gas is a mixture of gases that are rich in hydrocarbons. So all of these gases are naturally found in the atmosphere, and the natural gas reserves are deep inside the earth near other solid and liquid hydrocarbon beds such as crude oil or coal. Next slide.
So,
Okay, so I want to ask you, and you could go through the chat. What are some of the signs that that there's a natural gas leak? Correct. And what is that smell called, and what does it smell like? Yep, perfect. Rotten eggs. What's another one? Very good. What are some of the things? Very good. Sulfur. Yep, you guys got it right on. Now, what about seeing it? What are other forms of an indication that there could be a gas leak if you see it or hear it? Yep. Very good. You guys are paying attention. Great. So it's a white cloud or dust. Correct. Also, could be, yeah, it's the white mist. Yep. And another thing that I wanted to say was also if there's an area where it's nice and green and there's no reason why it should be dark or a dead vegetation, that could also be another indication of a gas leak. So these are just things to look out for, just in case you didn't know. Thank you. Next slide. Right. So here we go. Smell of sulfur, right? Hissing or roaring, dirt spraying, right? And, oh, okay.
sorry, Sid.
That's okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So you see here where it says brown grassy area, plant vegetation dying for no reason. Okay. Next slide. All right. So what do you do in case there's a gas emergency? Again, you smell gas, you act fast, you get out. That's so important. You're going to take action. You're going to leave your home immediately. You're going to leave everything the way it is. You're going to grab your loved ones and your pets, and then you're going to call, you make sure you're away. You're going to call 911 and our telephone number. It's very good to have this and put in your cell phones, the 718-643-4050 number, because it's always good to have handy just in case. And you do not turn on any lights. You don't turn them on, you don't turn them off, you don't unplug anything, right? You don't light a match, you just get out. Next slide. So I'm going to ask you a question. So all of the following should be done in case there is a gas emergency, except for what? Do not use a light switch, flashlight, TV, or even a phone. Go outside quickly. Go to a safe location and ask an adult to report the leak. Try to remove all flammable items from your emergency surroundings. I see some great answers coming in. Very good. Yep. All right, so the answer is D, right? You don't want to remove anything, especially flammable items. You don't want to disrupt anything. You just want to take yourselves, your loved ones, your furry children, and get out. Next slide, please. Okay, so if you smell natural gas in your home, is it okay to plug your cell phone into an outlet to charge? Wow, you guys are great. Yep, the answer is B, false, because that could be a spark of ignition. So you really don't want to touch anything, especially your phone, and either your phone, a cell phone, anything. So very good.
So our next topic is going to be about climate change. And if you've been following the news or following any social media, you know that one of the most urgent topics right now in the world is climate change. And one of Joe Biden's points during this campaign was to ensure that we have clean energy by the year 2030, 100% clean energy. And as a company, we're pushing towards that really hard. My first summer at National Grid, I was able to meet certain people that introduced me to research folks at my school. And I'm currently doing research with National Grid and Stony Brook to help fight for clean energy. My project right now includes hydrogen blending, which is pushing hydrogen into our present pipelines to help to lower the amount of unclean gas that we have in our system and make it a little cleaner. So that's another career opportunity that you could look at, because that's where the world is going to right now, providing clean energy. So what is climate change? Climate change describes a change in the average conditions such as temperature, rainfall, and in a region over a long period of time. So these include warming temperatures and changes in precipitation, as well as the effects on earth warming, such as rising and sea level. So as a society, we could help contribute to climate change every day in different decisions that we made. And we're going to be suggesting little tips on how to help fight climate change. Austin?
Yes, so for climate control, there's a couple things that you can do to help solve this issue. So one thing is shopping wisely. So I'm pretty sure for those of you who go grocery shopping or just any store in general, you've noticed that a lot of places now charge 5 cents for plastic bags. And that's because they want to get more customers to use reusable bags. So you can bring your own cloth shopping bags into the grocery stores, or when the clerk asks paper or plastic, you could offer a discount for bringing your own bags. Also buying in bulk, such as going to places like Costco or BJ's where they sell things in larger quantities. The reason why this is a great thing to do is because there's less packaging to recycle or to send to landfills. You can also make your own single servings for school lunches by putting bulk food into these reusable containers. And like the way that people do food, like food plans for the week, they put foods into containers and they save it in the fridge so that they don't have to use too much plastic or paper cloth bags. You can also ask your parents to buy foods that are grown close to where you live. So visiting local fruit stands and farmer markets are a great way to shop. This saves energy for transporting the food to you, and reusing items to save even more energy. So avoiding products such as bottled water or disposable cameras and razors. So like instead of using bottled water, you can buy refillable water bottles or thermoses to put your water in so that you're not constantly throwing out plastic bottles. Also repairing your clothes, gadgets, and sporting equipment, or even borrowing books from the library or friends, or from a used bookstore rather than purchasing new ones and using new materials. You can just reuse a lot that are still good.
So our next tip is going to be biking and walking. So if you don't have to drive, I advise that you bike and walk, because it doesn't produce any carbon to the environment, and it's healthy to bike and walk. As we all know, cars release carbon into the environment, which is dangerous to climate and leads to various climate changes that we see now. I'm going to be moving on to Sue. Sue, you're muted.
You're muted.
Sorry about that. Okay, so when you're using water wisely, that means you're not wasting it, because water is very precious. Saving water is good for the earth. It's good for your family and your community. So that's so important, right? Also, it's really good for the fish and the animals, right? And plus, the more we waste, the less they have. So it also helps drinking water supplies, right? By being cautious. Also, when using water, you save energy with the water supplies to use to treat and move water for you, and the energy for your family, your schools, and to uses to heat your hot water, right? Because we have hot water heaters. So unless you use less water, your family and your schools will have more money left to spend on other things. So I have a question to ask you. Can you guess which item in your home uses more water? Is it the toilet? If your home was built before 1993 and the toilet has never been replaced, it probably uses 3.6 gallons per flush. So also it could be the water faucet. It could be your hot water heater. So what do you think is the number one water guzzler in your home? Good answers. So it's actually, like I said, like I told you before, it's the toilet because it uses so much water. So now they have, better systems and it uses less water. Okay, next slide. So, okay, so do you want to, go ahead.
So one of the projects that National Grid is working on right now is the Renewable Natural Gas Project. And this project right here is located in Newtown Creek and is also known as biomethane. So our goal here is to provide pipeline quality gas that's interchangeable with natural gas. The project will inject enough gas to provide heat to approximately 2,500 homes and reduce carbon emission by about 16,000 tons annually. And this goal, the project's goal is to help lower carbon emission, use the current waste stream to produce renewable natural gas, leverage the existing natural gas network to deliver renewable deliver renewable fuel, and the project is to help stimulate the economy by providing jobs to various people. Next slide. I'm gonna be playing a video that shows different ways that National Grid is contributing to fighting against climate change.
Our world is changing. Populations and economies are growing, and so much of what we
can't hear it. It stopped. We can't hear the video.
Can you hear the video?
Yeah.
Can everybody hear the video?
No. We did originally and then it stopped for some reason.
How about now? Can you hear it?
Yes.
Yeah, can you hear the video?
Abdul, I don't think you can mute yourself while you're playing it.
Meeting increasing energy needs in a sustainable way is one of the biggest challenges we face in the 21st century. Making connections, our corporate responsibility strategy, helps us to meet this challenge by focusing our activities on areas we're passionate about and that directly contribute to the success of our business. Our environmental sustainability framework helps us to preserve for the future. We have a fantastic opportunity to make our contribution a positive one, but we can't do it alone. We're creating strategic partnerships with suppliers, stakeholders, and communities so that together we can create a long-term positive legacy. Our contribution changes the way that we think and work, defining the way forward for our business and ensuring we preserve what we value today in order to safeguard it for tomorrow. It also makes great business sense. It allows profitability and growth to walk hand in hand with preserving resources and natural habitats and respecting our communities. It helps us to create an environment to innovate, where ideas can come from anywhere and are allowed to flourish. There are three themes to our contribution: climate positive, positive about resources, and enhancing ecosystems. The biggest positive contribution we can make to the environment is helping to reduce society's carbon emissions, which is what climate positive is about. Over the next 10 years, we'll be investing billions in our networks and facilitating the connection of low carbon energy. Through clever design and engineering, we're getting ready to deliver the smart, sustainable energy of tomorrow. We are also working hard at reducing greenhouse gas emissions emitted from our own activities, such as methane lost from our gas networks, and have set ourselves some challenging targets. Positive about resources helps us to rethink the way we source, use, and reuse the finite resources involved in everything we do to enable us to manage our impact more responsibly. To get the maximum use out of our assets, we'll be thinking differently about the materials we use and designing and managing the life cycle of resources so that recovering, reusing, and remanufacturing become part of our DNA. With enhancing ecosystems, we're using our portfolio of property, land holdings, and network of energy assets to build a natural grid of quality habitats that enable biodiversity to thrive and to provide valuable, accessible green spaces, working with the communities where we operate. We're innovating today to create a better tomorrow. Through doing things differently, National Grid has a unique contribution to make to a more sustainable future for our business, our stakeholders, and our communities. National Grid, connecting you to your energy today, trusted to help you meet your energy needs tomorrow.
Ali got disconnected. She's gonna join soon. So can you give us like 2 minutes? She's gonna be doing the next slides. Sorry about that, guys.
Abdul, while we wait, there was a question in the chat box concerning National Grid where the folks are saying that they agree with the initiatives in terms of wanting to protect the environment, but what are the technological improvements or what are the technological changes that National Grid has in place in order to protect the environment? Is it possible that somebody can speak to that?
Well, in terms of technological improvements, that's what I mentioned that. Well, we're working on hydrogen blending, which is pushing hydrogen into our pipelines right now, because it's methane, and hydrogen by far doesn't have as much carbon emissions as methane does. So that's something that we're looking at. The renewable natural gas is also something that we're looking at. And in general, National Grid is we're not just a natural gas company. We're a natural gas and electrical company. So we're looking at various ways that we could transition into electrical too. So we have this thing called this project called power to gas. So which involves electrolysis, hydrogen fuel cells, which is what my senior project is about, because I'm working with National Grid doing that project too. So we have a lot of projects to help fight for that slowly and surely. I'm going to transition to Ali right now.
Thanks, Abdul. Sorry about that. I disconnected for a second. Abdul, can you go back a slide for me, please?
Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. So hi, everybody. My name is Ali Naidoo. I'm a specialist here at National Grid based out of our Metro Tech office as well. I'm originally from upstate New York. I graduated from the University of Buffalo in May of 2018, so kind of aging myself there. I started at National Grid in August of 2018 and really have been coordinating our intern program ever since. So that's what I'm going to spend a majority of my time kind of talking about, and then kind of exploring the other options that you have here at National Grid. So I do coordinate the intern program alongside one other person. Her name is Rachel. We like to call ourselves the dynamic duo. Unfortunately, she's not here today, but really happy to share a little bit about our intern program, as I know we have a lot of high school students on the line who may be graduating in the next year or two and really are going to start going to university and thinking about internships. So I'm kind of here to talk about the National Grid one. So Abdul, if you want to go to the next slide for me. Thank you. So we do hire about 200 interns every summer. I believe we're looking at 198 this year for summer 2021. I've actually hired, I think, everybody on this line as well. So the summer intern program is kind of our main one. So that takes place from May to August and throughout all of our jurisdictional areas. So those being New York, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island. And again, we hire about 200 of them. Our postings go live in the fall. So that is something to consider if you are graduating this May, to really be on the lookout for our postings in early fall. That is early, I know, but that is kind of our timeline for what we recruit for the following summer. So as a gridtern, you kind of participate in lots of activities. So anything from lunch and learns, department overviews, site visits. I think Abdul hosted a sustainability tour for our Brooklyn interns when we were all in person. And last summer we did kind of go all virtual and really are ready to do so again this summer if needed. So that was one thing that I'm sure everybody was aware of as you're all still kind of at home, is that unfortunately a lot of companies had to cancel their intern programs last year. But one thing about National Grid is that we kept our commitment to hiring 100% of our gridterns virtually last summer, and really are really excited to do so again for this summer. And then Abdul, if you want to go to the next slide for me. So kind of going into what our program components are and really what you'll spend your summer doing. So one, you do get real work, real projects that affect our customers and our company. However, we as a campus to careers team kind of put on additional components for you. So one, you can grow professionally, but personally as well to take those skills with you. So we offer certain speaker series, again, site visits. So we did virtual ones also this past summer, which is really cool. We have the technology to do that. We host National Intern Day every year. So we say that's an event for interns by interns, because all of our HR interns actually plan that event. And I think last year they had Jeopardy. I think the year before that we did ice cream. Abdul, I think we went for a walk to the Brooklyn Bridge the previous year. So it's really a fun day to kind of get all together. We do host volunteer opportunities as well. So something that National Grid's really keen on is giving back to the communities that we serve. So that really kind of transitions to our intern program as well. So typically in a non-virtual environment, it's about 1 or 2 days per summer that we all get together and go out in the local community to volunteer. However, last summer, what we did is actually a program called Gridterns Give Back. So before their start date, they had the opportunity to go out in their local community and volunteer. I think it was 30 hours before their start date, and they actually received a stipend for doing so. And again, it's really just emphasizing that we are big on giving back to the communities that we serve. And then last but not least, we do host an end of summer event. And this event's really meant to collaborate with your other interns and kind of work on your public speaking skills as well. So we were really excited. About 2 years ago, we introduced, it's called, I think it was a career fair type of event where you kind of had your own booth and employees of National Grid could kind of come up to you, talk with you, and learn all about your summer and what you did with us. However, we can't really have people in a small kind of room and kind of packed together. So what we did this past summer was actually a gridtern group case study. So they got to network with other interns they normally wouldn't have and really work together on a project that helped out National Grid and its initiatives as well. So those are kind of our program components. Again, this is in addition to everything that you'll be working on within your department, but it's really great and it kind of varies every year to kind of what we do every summer. So Abdul, if you want to go to the next slide for me. So kind of walking through what our qualifications are for our intern programs. So again, the postings go live in the fall and will close probably at the end of October. So it's early fall, so it's something to be aware of. Definitely check out our careers website to learn more about our program, our deadlines, and FAQs, things like that, hear testimonials, but definitely just explore our careers website, see what interests you. I always tell people too, careers in energy is not going away. It's something that's here to stay. So if you are looking for a career in energy, National Grid is a good place for you to be. You must be pursuing a college degree from an accredited institution. So it is a college program. You do have to be enrolled full-time for both spring and fall semesters. You must be 18 years of age or older. And then what we really look for in our candidates is that you demonstrate effective communication, problem solving, and interpersonal skills. So, we don't look for years and years of experience because we know college students do not have those types of experiences. We really just look for kind of the next leaders of the organization. And then Abdul, if you want to go to the next slide for me. So I'm also kind of here to talk about why our full-time opportunities are great. So again, I came to National Grid about 2 months after I graduated college, and why I came here is really for all of the opportunity that kind of lies within National Grid. What I like to say too is that National Grid is a company that invests in you if you invest in them. So really just kind of looking at our benefits that we have highlighted on the screen, the student loan repayment program, a tuition reimbursement, 3 weeks paid vacation kind of right at the start. I know 401ks aren't necessarily what you're thinking about right now, but it's definitely good to highlight and think about for kind of what companies you are looking to be employed with in the future. So I like to highlight the student loan repayment because one, they will pay back your student loans that you've acquired before you even got to National Grid. And then also the tuition reimbursement. So I actually just graduated in December with my master's degree that was paid for by National Grid, which is really cool that I didn't have to take out additional loans for that. And then Abdul, if you want to go to the next slide for me. And then so kind of last but not least, just highlighting all of the awards and distinctions that National Grid has won over the years, you know, best employers for diversity, the best places to work for LGBTQ equality. Really, again, just I think National Grid's a great place to work. I've been here. I don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon. So hopefully you do as well and kind of want to investigate a career here. Again, tons of opportunity. You don't have to be an engineer. I was a business major in college and I'm here. You know, we have finance, computer science, HR, really across the board. So I am here to kind of answer any questions that you might have, but right now I will kind of turn it back to Abdul.
Okay. So if you want us to go into specifics, you know, if you plan on having us have a presentation to you next time, if you want us to go into, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, because I can't see myself. Okay.
Yes.
If you want us to go into specifics, you know, down the road, if you want us to have a presentation, we could go into specifics, into details of all these topics. So any form of renewable energy you want us to go into, vampire energy, gas safety, 811 safety, just ask, and we're gonna be providing. This is our contact information. You can email us at metrotexasurveyorhub@gmail.com. You can follow our social media. We post a lot of great tips and questions on our social media. So please follow us, and it would be great really appreciated if you did. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask us through the chat. I'm kind of reading the questions right now. I see a lot of questions. So.
And by the way, Abdul, as you're reading through the questions and you respond to them, just to be clear, for everyone who is requesting a recording, yes, we will record this and you will get it in your email inbox. So we'll take care of that for you. And by the way, a repeated question that's been coming up is, are there any opportunities for high school students?
Yeah, so I can kind of take that one. Unfortunately, no, we do not have any formal kind of intern program for our high school students. They are all college and above. We used to a few years ago, but unfortunately that is no longer kind of a part of National Grid. But definitely, again, be on the lookout for when you enter college for National Grid's intern program.
Thank you, Ali. And can you just go back to the slide that shows the Instagram handle, because we have some of our attendees. Great, thank you so much.
Okay. I see another question that asks, do you host SYEP? Yes and no, because I don't know if it's a high school program. No, but SYEP and Ladders for Leaders, so they're together. And that's how I found out about National Grid, through that program. So if anyone wants to get an internship at National Grid through SYEP, you could hear from it, but as Ali said, you have to apply through the website. But that's how I was able to learn about my internship, through SYEP and Ladders for Leaders, which is really pushed in high school programs. So I know about that. Where are the internships and jobs for National Grid located? Ali?
Yep, I can take that one. So again, they're kind of across all of our territories. If you're looking for specifically the New York State and kind of downstate area, we are based in Brooklyn. We are based in the Metrotech. However, we are moving buildings here soon. So if you're familiar with the Barclays Center, we're actually going to be based right directly across the street from the Barclays Center. We also have locations in Greenpoint and all across Long Island as well. Those are majority of our power plants. But we also have offices in upstate New York, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island.
Do you support engineering programs in high school? Our school has an engineering small learning community.
I would say we definitely kind of partner with high schools a lot of the time to educate students kind of what opportunities are here and kind of careers in STEM. But again, for a formal kind of intern high school program, I wouldn't say we offer those.
Okay. Are the summer internships paid?
Yes, they are.
Is there an internship in Staten Island?
Yes, we do have an office in Staten Island too. Yep.
Yeah. Can you request a presentation? Can you request? Okay, I don't think that's for us. Any more questions?
Another question that came up is somebody was asking about the disposability of batteries. For example, you have Tesla. Is there any sort of collaboration that goes on between National Grid and any of the automotive companies? Or is there any sort of collaborative efforts that you guys are doing with the automotive sector to reduce the emission of carbon gas? Is that a thing that goes on?
You want me to go to answer that to my best knowledge? So,
Go. Yeah, take it away.
I mean, so in New York, we basically deal with natural gas for the most part. I don't think we do electricity that much, right, Ali? So
Correct. Yep.
I think if I'm not wrong, I think some of our like sectors in Waltham and Providence probably deal with that. And I'm pretty sure we have something for electrical cars and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure we have a partnership for that. I'm just not 100% sure. So yeah.
Is there any insight you guys can give to our students who are pursuing engineering? Is there a specific type of engineering degree that they need to pursue in order to work for National Grid?
I can kind of take this one as a non-engineering student. So we hire all different types of engineers. We hire civil, mechanical, structural, industrial, chemical. I'm sure there's a bunch of them that I most likely forgot. But we do hire all engineers. So there's not one discipline that we necessarily seek out. But definitely take the time to explore kind of what discipline interests you, I would say. I know when I went to college, I switched my major like 5 different times before I landed on business. So that's totally normal to kind of go into a field of engineering and think, hey, I want to go do something else. So not necessarily to work at National Grid do we seek out certain disciplines because we hire all of them kind of across our jurisdictional areas. But definitely best of luck to you in finding out what your college major is.
Okay, great. And Ali, Austin, and Abdul, we'd love to hear from all 3 of you on this one. Some of the students are asking, can you just describe the various college courses you've been taking?
Yeah, sure. I'll start off. So for me, I actually started my freshman year as a journalism major. So I took a lot of courses related to media, such as public speaking, being in the mind of a news reporter, history of the press, if I remember correctly. And then when I realized that I wanted to work more in PR and advertising, I decided to change my major to business management. And then I took intro to business, intro to statistics, intro to applied decision sciences, which was just about like learning how business leaders think and how they communicate with clients and customers, which taught me a lot about like relations with people and how to network properly. And then when I finally declared my specialization for marketing, I started taking courses like social media marketing, so how to properly market on social media, which actually taught me a lot because even though we use social media on a daily basis, probably, sometimes we are not actually paying attention to a lot of the hidden advertisements in social media and a lot of the secret schemes that a lot of companies put in to try to draw you into marketing plans and tactics. What else have I learned? At the moment, I'm taking a consumer advertising and promotions course, digital marketing. So all just based around advertising and marketing. And it's really fun. I think it's a great field to get into because marketing is very universal. Regardless of what company or field you'll ever get into, there's always going to be a marketing department. And I think that for a lot of Gen Z, it's probably something they'd be interested in since they're really into social media and digital media.
And so as a chemical engineering student, I took physics, chemistry, orgo. Then sophomore year I started taking thermodynamics, process design, and process engineering design. And after working at National Grid, I knew what, like, I asked various questions so I could know specific classes I wanted to take. And so I started taking energy science classes. I'm taking an energy technology lab class. I'm taking a class that teaches me about the policy and business of the energy sector, because that's really important when it comes to that. A lot of process engineering design classes. That's what I'm taking. I took intro to catalysis, which is really important in energy research. A lot of energy classes. I took a lot of energy classes. Corporate industrial practices, which teaches me different ethics and stuff to do in the engineering sector, because ethics is really important in engineering. You know, the right steps and stuff. I'm taking safety classes. I took a, a lot of basically a lot of energy classes. Basically, a lot of energy classes, physics, chemistry, algo, math, calc. Yep.
All right, thank you so much, Abdul. And by the way, you said a lot of big words there dealing with thermodynamics and catalysis and so forth. So can you just do us a favor, and when you get a chance, just drop some of those courses into the chat box as well, so some of our students can be more familiar with the pathway that they ought to take.
Quick advice for everyone here, for the students: make sure you talk to your counselor when you get to college. Make sure you talk to them. You know, if you want to go into a major, if you want to go to mechanical engineering, if you want to go to chemical engineering, make sure you talk to your counselors. Tell them that this is what I want to do, because they're going to put you to people that work in the professions, and they're going to tell you various classes that you could take to help, like, help your career down the lane. I was lucky enough to do my internship as a sophomore at National Grid during the summer, so I spoke to various engineers that came into the hub, and he told me, hey, take this class. The energy sector is going to this, and they emphasize on learning the business. So whatever company, whatever stuff you want to go into, you have to learn the business, because that's really important. So, yeah, that's what I gotta say.
There was a question in the chat about multilingual learners.
We have that. We have, especially with our 800 numbers and our customer service area, we do have that available. People have do speak different languages.
Yep.
And also, could I just bring up, I know somebody was saying something about the automotive ideas currently in progress with National Grid. We necessarily don't partner with them, but what we do is we do encourage our employees. They offer a nice package to our employees. If you buy an electric car, you get rebates. Also, they put stations for people that are, the employees in each parking lot. They have an area where you could hook your car up. So we are trying to reduce emissions. And there is some, I do have a website that I could forward to you, Nav, about what we do as a company to try to reduce emissions, because, we work with the Newtown Creek, with the water department. And so we do different things. So I just wanted to just let everybody know about that.
Okay, perfect.
And another thing,
yes.
I just wanted to bring up too, just about myself. So like I said, I've been with National Grid for a very, very long time, and they actually afforded me to get my degree. So they actually helped pay for part of my education. So they also offer that as well if you're a full-time employee. So I was able to get my BS in organizational management from St. Joseph's.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Susan. So for our young people on the call, as you can see, there are a diverse array of opportunities available in National Grid. One does not have to simply be a chemical engineer or a mechanical engineer. There are all sorts of various pathways you can take, whether it's in this organization or many others. So we want to thank you all for joining. I'm going to ask that all the students on this call that you please pay attention to the chat box. You'll see that my colleagues have been dropping various links there. We want you to take a look at the flyer so that you can sign up for various other career exploration activities that are happening for the month of February. We also want to hear your feedback as well. So please be sure to fill out the exit ticket. Make sure your email is correctly inputted, because a lot of you, sometimes you may misspell your email. So make sure that you have your correct contact information as well. And for the various educators and work-based learning coordinators, college counselors, and other school staff, if you want to reach out to the National Grid Metro Tech Sustainability Hub, please feel free to contact them. at the email address that is provided. You see that you have their Twitter handle, their Instagram handle, and their email, metrotechsustainabilityhub@gmail.com. If there are any last minute comments or questions, you can feel free to drop them in the chat. But until next time, thank you all so much for joining. And as you can see, we had a number of young people present today. How I like to look at this seminar is a session by young people for young people, and that includes you too, Susan, because I consider you one of the young people as well. So Abdul, Austin, thank you guys for being such a great representation of the products of our system. You gentlemen are certainly folks that our young people can look up to, so I really, really appreciate your time. Thank you so much, Ali, for all the insight and resources that you've shared today. And thank you also to the rest of my colleagues that have been here on the call with us, who have helped us to set up this session and monitor the chat box. Thank you all so much. So until next time, guys, again, please sign up for the various other exploration events that we're doing for the month of February, and have a good one. We will be emailing out the recording to all of the folks who have attended this session as well. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your week. Take care, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nav. And also I put that information in the chat about all what we do isn't for National Grid.
Yep.
Okay, so it's in the chat.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunity. We appreciate it.